Hey, how's it going, guys? Mush back at it with another video. You guys know how it works. Another new week, another batch of new Steam game releases that some of them you might be very aware about, others might be flying under your radar, but I want to highlight 5 pretty notable games that are coming to Steam this week and you should know about. You've got a very exciting game from Microsoft Game Studios and Moon Studios in a follow-up to one of the best Xbox One games released, and that game is available on PC as well. A new fighting game based on an anime, and a couple of other pretty cool titles. So without further ado, we've got 5 games to go over, so let's just get right into it. And I want to kick things off with one of my most anticipated games of the year, and that is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Yes, the follow-up to the Xbox One and PC title Ori and the Blind Forest is upon us in Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This game has been in development for quite a while. Blind Forest came out years ago, but Will of the Wisps is really improving on the entirety of the game, and Blind Forest was a tremendous game. Expect even more so out of Will of the Wisps, being that the game is 3 times in size comparatively speaking to Blind Forest. Now, it should be noted Blind Forest wasn't this enormous game, however, it was a relatively well-sized Metroidvania experience, but Will of the Wisps is definitely heightening that as well. In Will of the Wisps, you'll embark on a new journey in a vast exotic world where you'll encounter towering enemies and challenging puzzles on your quest to unravel Ori's destiny. The little spirit Ori is no stranger to peril, but when a fateful flight puts the Owlet Coup in harm's way, it will take more than bravery to bring a family back together. Heal a broken land and discover Ori's true destiny. From the creators of the critically acclaimed action platformer Blind Forest comes the highly anticipated sequel. Embark on an all-new adventure in a vast world filled with new friends and foes that come to life in stunning hand-painted artwork set to a fully orchestrated original score. Ori and the Will of the Wisps continues the Moon Studios tradition of tightly crafted platforming action and deeply emotionally moving storytelling, and that's something that I can really harken back to with the Blind Forest. Blind Forest was such an emotional game, and when I was going into Blind Forest, I was just like, okay, this is gonna be another enjoyable Metroidvania platformer with a fantastic art style. I mean, I could tell that right away that the art style was tremendous, but then you actually play the game and you realize, okay, I'm in for something that is a little heartfelt, a little emotionally moving, and then by the end of the game, it is just a roller coaster of emotions. If you've never played Blind Forest, please go back and play that game. I think it's on Xbox Game Pass. It very well should be. Will of the Wisps will be out on Steam for $29.99, but of course, just like every other Xbox Game Studios title, it will be available through Xbox Game Pass as well. I want the game on Steam, however, just thinking about it, that $5 a month for Xbox Game Pass, it's getting even more enticing with a release like Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That's definitely enticing a lot of people to pick that up, and Halo 1 just came out earlier, so yeah, Game Pass is having a great month, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps is due out on March 11th. Alright, next up, we have a PlayStation 4 exclusive that just came out, and now it's making its transition to PC. Granblue Fantasy versus the fighting game will be out on March 13th in North America. Now, this isn't the Granblue Fantasy Project Relink that everybody wants. That's a grandiose JRPG that looks incredible, has a great art style. Platinum Games helped out with the development of that game for a while. But to hold us over and satiate our thirst for that game, I guess, in Granblue Fantasy vs. Power, Skill, and Spirit collide in a quest to find the true champion of the sky. Players can take on AI opponents or fight against human opponents in local or online 2-player matches. Now, it is based on an RPG franchise that is really big in Japan, hasn't made a big impact over here stateside, but that could really change with the release of this game, as well as Project Relink, if that ultimately comes out. The thing about Versus is it'll also include an RPG mode that features an all-new original story told through beautifully rendered cutscenes featuring deep action RPG gameplay. In this mode, players take on waves of enemies and formidable primal beasts solo or by teaming up with a friend in local or online cooperative play. Along the way, they'll develop their fighters with a comprehensive character and weapon upgrade system. Recognizable to all Granblue Fantasy fans, the mysterious hooded figure featured in Granblue Fantasy's popular series of events was also revealed and as the final boss of the RPG mode. A lot of the information is probably a little bit unfamiliar to you guys, given that I'm sure you guys aren't invested into Granblue like that, but there is actually this underground level of hype that is amounting for this game. I remember talking about Granblue Fantasy versus just briefly, and a lot of you guys just came out of the woodworks in the comment section being like, yeah, I'm really excited for this, I'm gonna check it out. Now, as an online fighter on PC, the question is always gonna remain, what is the longevity of the player base gonna be? It's always gonna be a worry, especially with PC fighters. Hopefully sooner rather than later, we can start implementing this crossplay thing into every genre and every game, because fighting games would definitely take a step up and become much better on PC. as long as there was a more compelling player base and you could go in and always find a game. Whatever the case may be, there's still a lot of reason to be excited for Granblue Fantasy Versus, and it is due out March 13th. Another game, I'm personally more excited about this just because I'm such a big fan of the anime. My Hero Academia's next game in My Hero One's Justice 2 will be dropping on PC on March 12th. The over-the-top follow-up to the smash hit 3D fighter arena game, My Hero One's Justice makes its heroic debut, making full use of characters' quirks as you clash head-to-head in epic battles across huge arenas. Now, there's a lot that could be said for the first game. The first game wasn't excellent by any means. However, the debut title for any anime video game, traditionally, and if you look back, they are usually pretty freaking bad. And My Hero One's Justice set the foundation and the baseline pretty well because that game was still relatively decent, and if they can build upon the foundation in that game within My Hero One's Justice 2, I really think that this could end up being a pretty compelling series of video games for an anime that is really, really good, although I haven't gotten around to watching season 4 yet, or whatever season that is airing or just aired, whatever the case may be. I haven't watched the most recent season, but I have heard some very, very questionable things about that season, although I also heard that season just really picked up, so I gotta get around to watching season 4, and I gotta watch the new movie, but nonetheless, still a big fan. I watched season 1 and 2 as they were airing, and I had a fantastic time watching it. Some of the best fights, some of the best characters, and you know, your typical shonen anime goodness. If you're a fan of an anime like Naruto, it's that same zero to hero storyline that the main character is going through, but hey, what isn't broken, you don't need to fix it, and My Hero just makes that fundamental shonen storytelling a little bit better and does it really, really well, and this game should be a rather good one if you're a fan. I'm not saying go and buy My Hero One's Justice 2 if you're not a fan. Obviously, these games are going to be catered towards fans of the IP, but this one is shaping up to be quite good, and it's out March 12th. Next up, here's a game that looks really cool, and that is Neon City Riders. Neon City Riders has you explore a decaying futuristic city in search of items, superpowers, and companions to free all the turfs of the evil gangs and unite their people again. It's a 2D action-adventure mixed with superpowered urban gangs in a post-cyberpunk neon scenario, and if that's the type of game that you want, this is gonna be right up your alley. Assume the role of Rick, a rad-mass vigilante in search of superpowers and companions to defeat hordes of vicious enemies, solve defined puzzles, unlock new paths, complete engaging side quests, and finally, free the decaying futuristic neon city that has been seized by a group of super-powered gangs. It's quirky, it's fun in presentation, and you're gonna fight in a deep and fast-paced combat based on unlockable super abilities. You'll explore an open-ended progression and lots of optional side quests to complete the game, though through one of 4 different endings, and immerse in the retro-futuristic graphics and sounds inspired by the 80s pop culture and video game consoles. It's gonna be a super easy game to run as well. We don't have a price point at this point, but if it's around the $15 range, I think it is going to be a pretty quirky game to check out, and at the very least, one to add to your wish list. Maybe it'll be added in a humble bundle down the line, but it does look rather cool, and it doesn't seem to take itself all too seriously. Lastly, I do want to note the Chinese game in Brightbird. This is something of a hidden gem that I just uncovered looking through the games on Steam, and Brightbird has an awesome art style. This is a great look to be hand-drawn art style. It's designed to be a seamless side-scrolling world full of challenging puzzles. Begin your exciting journey, find the Brightbird to save the world. It contains various elements, stories, explorations, and puzzles. The game is designed to be a seamless side-scrolling world full of challenging puzzles. Control Yao, the heroine, or Zwan, the hero, to begin your exciting journey and fight the Brightbird to solve the smog crisis. The game notes many cultural relic elements were added to display the traditional Oriental culture. They also created a sense of depth by optimizing level designs and visual arts. Enjoy a large number of well-designed and ingenious puzzles. Invite characters with unique personalities to join your team. They'll help you in puzzle solving. A game that, based on its visuals, it is touting some higher than I would expect system requirements. An i7 4770, GTX 960, and R9 280. This is a game that seems to accentuate its visual style more than actually having technically demanding visuals, but nonetheless, it's not like I really expect that if you have an i5 that this game is going to be super, super difficult to run, but maybe I'll be wrong about that. Definitely a game that I'm keeping on my radar, and you guys should do the same. Add it to your wish list, see how it turns out, and maybe we'll end up getting more games like this because this is definitely unique in style and presentation. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, I think Steam has a lot of great game releases coming out this week. We've got Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Granblue Fantasy Versus looks like it could be really good, and it's been really well received on PlayStation 4, so I think that's going to be a slam dunk. My Hero One's Justice 2. I'm a My Hero Academia fan, and this is one that I'll definitely be giving a look to. Neon City Riders, maybe not a day one pickup, but one that's gonna be on my wish list, as is Brightbird. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know which of these games you guys are interested in. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.